So, as you can see today, we're in my bathroom because we were so badly behaved we got kicked out of the kitchen. So the presentation is about pain from Andrew and Kate's bathroom. So, what we're going to do, have a little look here. And you can't do a presentation in the room, you want to be in the bath. So here we're going to go. So we're going to start off having a look at the neuron here. Neuron, a little teeny part of a nerve. And what you've got this body here and it goes all the way to the spine. But just to focus on this bit here, you've got a big lump here. And it's really sort of a salty banana. It's a thing full of potassium, and outside there's calcium and sodium. On the whole, this maintains an electrical charge. You see, outside is positive, inside is negative. In fact, inside is negative 90 millivolts. Now, what happens when something affects the cell? Little channels open up. Here's a sodium channel, here's a calcium channel. And what happens, bits of sodium and bits of calcium start to come into here, and they raise this resting membrane potential up and up and up and up and up and up to minus 55. And minus 55 is a magical number, which means when it hits there, it impels an impulse or an action potential all the way, boom, all the way down to the spinal column that goes all the way up to the brain. Okay, let's just leave that hanging there. So, we have a normal lovely day and somebody comes and drives a nail through your hand. It happens to me all the time. What happens is the body does four things, or resources four types of things. And these are mast cells, macrophages, neutrophils and T cells. And what they do, they're going to combat and kill, or try and kill, any invading bacteria or germs. Doing one of two ways. Either they're going to engulf the invading microbes, like imagine a plastic bag picking up a piece of dog poo, straight away. Or the bag's going to be full of chemicals. It's going to hover over the dog poo, open it up, and all the chemicals are going to fall out. We've got two types of chemicals. So what happens here? These chemicals come out. And the first thing you've got is this little group here of hydrogen ions, ATP, serotonin, substance P. And what these do is they go and act on the nerves and they open up these channels. And by opening up these channels, you'll see the sodium and calcium is able to come and change the action potential. They do other things as well, but see, that's the major function of this presentation. These other things over here, these are other chemicals, bradykins, histamine, prostaglandins, nerve growth factor, they simply increase the sensitivity of this. So what that means is that normally the resting is 90 millivolts, but if it's continually bathed in this stuff, the resting membrane potential rises, maybe to 70, maybe to 60. And you'll see, if your resting potential is 60, you won't take much to stimulate a rise to 55 and start a pain action going down. Anyway, so what happens is, say, these cells release this, but in return, the neuron releases its own group of extra chemicals from substance P, chemokines, cytokines, and calatonin gene-related peptide. I have to write that in full, otherwise I keep on forgetting it. And all this now sends messages all the way down to here. So boom, bang, 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 away it goes to here. It goes into the spine. I'm not going to identify too many bits. This is a cross-section of the spine. We'll do some more spinal anatomy later on. But when you look at this little junction here, the end of this, that now this is the representation up here. So this is going to come all the way down here and come into here. Now this is going to start releasing lots of chemicals, and the chemicals it's going to be releasing are glutamate, substance P, CGPR, we learned that over here, cytokines and chemokines. And what this is going to do is once again start activating the channels on this, which will mean that calcium and sodium are going to start going in. They'll change the electrical charge and boom, coming back here, up a charge goes, boom, 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 up to the brain. We'll not talk about the brain yet. So this is really what happens. Stuff happens here, it fires here, boom, goes all the way down, fires an impulse up the brain. Massive amount of different chemicals, sort of sometimes doing the same thing or having other functions as well. And that is basically how the start of the pain cycle. It's probably the brain next week.
My hair's getting really frizzy in here.
Oh, we'll stop now in that case.